On the morning of June 11, 2021, CCTV cameras across Wembley, London.
See, here's the shit I don't understand. Why are these niggas always using my great granny iPhone to record this shit? Y'all companies, y'all invest all this in your business, and then y'all get these weak ass cameras. Boy, we can't see shit. You not catching nobody on this. Her face is dead ass a white blob. You can't see no features, no nose, hair, nothing. Boy, what the hell is this?
Then captured a woman walking around with a large blue suitcase. On the surface, the footage is completely
we gonna hunt this down. The nigga, this shit like an alien, boy.
Ordinary. However, this footage would soon become key evidence in one of the most brutal crimes in Wembley's recent history.
This?
The incident took place the evening of June 11 when the Metropolitan Police received a call from a man in distress. He was a temporary resident at a house on Chaplin Road, and according to him, the owner of the house, a 67-year-old woman who went by Deborah, was missing. Her phone and glasses, the two things she always kept on her, were also still in the house. But what made her absence most concerning was the fact that Deborah had a history of severe mental health struggles. She was diagnosed with schizophrenia, and at one point believed that Prince Charles, along with the country's prime minister, were communicating with her through YouTube. Deborah also had no family in the country.
Like, Deborah need to go join a bingo team or something, get something. Like, she not doing nothing with her time. She retired, she bored, so she going crazy. She need to go play some chess.
Could have gone to either. The only people who knew her were those who attended the same church as she did. And speaking with people from the church gave investigators their first lead. One of Deborah's friends, 37-year-old Gemma Mitchell, told officers that Deborah had been depressed and that she went to stay with friends close to the ocean. Unfortunately, this lead turned out to be a dead end, as none of the CCTV cameras around her home captured her leaving that morning, and any records of her using a taxi service or public transport. After 2 more weeks of fruitless searching, investigators had nearly run out of all potential leads. They needed a breakthrough, or the case risked going unsolved forever. Fortunately, the search finally reached its end on June 27, but in the way investigators feared most.
Hi, I just found a body. Oh, go ahead, caller. What's your emergency? I just found a body. Right, okay.
Her ass a little too calm, nigga. This is Among Us self-report game. This shit gotta be a self-report. I'm not gonna lie. She's too calm about this.
Are they breathing? No, they're dead. They look like they've possibly been there like a few days or something.
A hiker discovered the remains of Deborah on a wooden path next to Bennett Road in Sulcombe, Devon, over 200 miles from her home in Wembley. The worst part about this discovery, however, was the condition investigators found her in. This wasn't a case of going for a hike and having an accident. Instead, someone had surgically decapitated her head, which was later discovered about 30 feet away from the rest of her body. Autopsy results also showed signs of blunt force trauma to the head. With that, the case shifted from a missing person search to a homicide investigation. However, finding the culprit was going to be easier said than done, largely because Deborah never gave anyone a reason to take her life. Despite her mental health struggles, everyone who knew her described her as extremely kind and compassionate.
Yo, what type of B-roll is this? Who are these niggas? Why they just walking? Nigga, these actors? Fuck.
She was even letting the temporary
y'all told him just stare off into the happy, friendly neighborhood?
And who filed the missing person report live with her for free since he couldn't afford to pay rent. But while investigating those closest to her, investigators noticed something suspicious about Gemma.
Oh, shit,
CCTV cameras captured Gemma walking toward Deborah's home.
How the hell y'all find out this was Gemma? Bitch ass nigga, she blended in with the fence. I can't even tell this her.
With a blue suitcase on the morning of June 11, the same day she went missing at around 6:30 a.m. Hours later, the same cameras captured Gemma walking back, this time with 2 suitcases. She was also struggling more to roll the suitcases, suggesting—
Garbage man, do your fucking job, man. Holy shit. My nigga, it's overflowing out the trash can.
Struggling more to roll the suitcases, suggesting that, unlike before, they were now heavy. This made Gemma the primary suspect in Deborah's murder, prompting investigators to look into her more closely, which turned out to be the right move. On the 26th of June, CCTV cameras captured her struggling to load the same blue suitcases into the back of a rental car. She then drove to the same road where Deborah's remains were found a day later. This was enough evidence for the police to obtain a warrant and arrest Gemma on July 6th.
Timmy, you fucking bum. Oh, they breaking down Gemma's door. Oh, shit.
Police!
And this the police camp? Nigga, I watch all type of body cams. They don't look like this.
Hello there.
Nigga, this is the weakest body cam of all time.
There's no answer. Sorry, what's your name?
Like, nigga, you telling me, bro, we paying all this, niggas paying all this money, funding these niggas, paying for their jobs, and this is the type of shit they do with our money.
You Gemma? Yeah. Okay, Gemma, just can you hold on a second? Sure.
Come on,
hold on a second.
Sorry, could I... Guys, Gemma, do you want to come out? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I just want to see them.
Hand just over your hands. All right, Gemma, at this moment, I'm arresting you on suspicion of murder.
Yeah, get your ass out.
You,
Gemma.
just you, building your app.
Gemma didn't even try to plead her innocence and went with the officers without any resistance, almost as if she was already expecting them to some extent. She also remained silent at the station, answering every question with a cold no comment. But now that she was under arrest, authorities were able to search her home, and it wasn't long before everything became clear. You see, Gemma lived with her mother in their home on Bronsbury Park. The house was worth over £4 million, but it was in rough shape. So they hired a contractor.
How much money is that? Hold on, my nigga. I ain't gonna lie, yo. If this the house, I hope this not the house, bro. It's not looking like £4 million.
Evidence to convict Gemma. She stood trial on October 2022.
Okay, my nigga. This has to be a troll. Nah, this is a joke. Nigga, what the fuck is on his head, boy? What type of toupee is this? George Washington ass nigga? What the fuck, boy? Take this shit off your head, man. Stop playing.
And was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 34 years
rosy
behind
cheek
bars.
ass.
On July 7th, 2021, 23-year-old Chandler Halderson went to the local sheriff's office and filed a missing person report for his parents, 50-year-old Bart and 53-year-old Krista. According to Chandler, the two had gone to their family cabin in White Lake on July.
This nigga had, yeah. They got killed by a buck, nigga. Imagine you a fucking deer or whatever, reindeer, whatever the fuck this shit is, man. Imagine that's your mom, and like they just come shoot her in the forehead, and then they put her ass up on the house like a trophy. Boy, fuck. What's wrong with you? If I was the buck, I'm killing him. Dead ass.
July 2nd to spend the weekend. The last contact he had with them was a message from Krista writing, "Made it safely. Can't get anything through, and yes, it's packed. Going to White Lake today for the parade, and we'll come home Monday night/Tuesday early. Love you lots." It was Wednesday now, and the two had still not returned. Their phones were also going straight to voicemail, leaving Chandler with no way to determine their current whereabouts. Now, the simplest explanation was that they simply decided to extend their stay, and that they weren't able to inform Chandler because of the bad cell signal at the cabin, which was a known issue. However, this was completely out of character for them. Bart was extremely punctual and responsible, and Krista was on the verge of losing her job if she didn't return soon. Chandler was understandably worried about the safety of his parents. To make matters more complicated, they didn't go to the cabin
What type of sound effects just played on my computer?
their own. Instead, they were apparently picked up by friends that Chandler didn't know about. Officers quickly began looking for the couple while Chandler reached out to local media, hoping someone with information on Bart and Krista might come forward. The most obvious place to look for them was the cabin, but when officers arrived at the location, they were surprised to see it completely empty. They had to break open the front door only to find zero signs of recent activity. It seemed like Bart and Krista never made it to the cabin. But if that was the case, why did Krista tell
they
Chandler
got jumped
that
by
they
the family of reindeer outside the cabin, bro? They didn't even get to get inside.
Made it safely in her text? In the meantime, Chandler turned to the neighbors to check if any of their doorbell cameras captured anything about Bart and Krista, but that didn't prove very useful either. Without any other leads, investigators went back to the Halderson home to look for any clues. They also brought Chandler in for questioning since he was the last
I think it was Chandler. God damn it. It was Chandler.
Person who saw the couple. Though, until now, Chandler appeared to be a perfect son. Despite living with his parents, Chandler was doing very well for himself. He had already gained valuable work experience in several different fields at just 23 years old, and had even received a job offer from SpaceX. Unfortunately,
yo, Elon, watch out, boy.
Before he could accept the offer, he accidentally fell down the stairs. This resulted in him sustaining severe nerve damage in the legs, forcing him to reject the SpaceX offer and focus on recovery. He had also been very cooperative with the police up until this point, but as it turned...
Oh shit, man! It ruined his life, man. He fucked up his neck bone, and he killed his mom because he got mad. He killed his parents? Yo, Chandler, what's wrong with you, boy?
The concerned look on his face was nothing but a complete lie. His behavior started becoming suspicious as soon as he was brought in for questioning. Not realizing he was being recorded, Chandler was seen in the interrogation room putting his head up against the wall, almost as if he was trying to listen in on what the detectives knew, likely so he could adjust his story accordingly. The investigators searching his home also discovered some rather concerning evidence. This included things like missing floor tiles and cabinets from the kitchen, a broken glass pane from the fireplace, and most concerningly, splatters of recently cleaned blood all throughout the house. However, Chandler seemed to have an excuse for everything. He blamed the missing tiles and cabinets on renovations, and claimed the fireplace glass broke while playing with one of his dogs using a tennis ball. As for the blood, Chandler claimed that it came from Krista having excessive nosebleeds, and from Bart getting a deep cut on his...
Hold on. boy, your ass be fucking dead, nigga. Yo, you was not bleeding this much out the nose.
The blood to celebrate the 4th of July holiday. However, but not long after, he mentioned driving to multiple places to celebrate the 4th of July holiday. However, despite their suspicion, investigators had no proof of any foul play from Chandler. That is, until they received a call from a woman named Cress. She was a family acquaintance of Chandler's girlfriend Catherine, and the two had actually gone to her place for dinner on the 4th of July. According to Cress, Chandler visited her farm in Cottage Grove on July 3rd, asking to use her pool. She said yes and went on with her day. But when she came back to check on him an hour later, he wasn't in the pool. Instead, his car was backed up to a wooded area next to the farm, and its trunk was open.
He dumped the body out
Investigators
there?
rushed to the location she provided.
Oh!
And not far into the wooded area, they found the dismembered remains of Bart Halderson, wrapped in a tarp and hidden under some foliage. Around the same time, a different group of investigators discovered doorbell camera footage that showed the Halderson home in plain view. According to this footage, Bart and Krista never stepped foot outside on the morning of July 2nd. In other words, the story of the mystery friends picking them up was a complete lie. But when confronted with this evidence, Chandler stopped talking and asked for a lawyer.
You know what happened. We're not going to tell you what happened. You know what happened. You were there when it happened.
Nigga about to tweet. Hold on, don't bend down too hard. You gonna fuck your neck up again, bro. Chill out.
We're not BSing you, okay?
I wasn't there when it happened. Should I?
We know more than you think we know.
I understand. But
there's people that have told us things. We have evidence. We have proof. More has happened. Okay. So your parents never made it to the cabin, and I think you know that.
Oh, yeah,
Parents of children who play
Holy
Roblox.
Smoke. Boy, no, I ain't get fucking fucked on Roblox.
Okay. So you're asking for an attorney. We're not going to ask any more questions.
it's him.
Go stand up. You want to stand up? Just come right over here.
Krista's remains were later discovered in an area near the Wisconsin River as well. Fortunately, investigators were able to
Bro, the
find
Gators got harassed? Why the fuck she on the river?
evidence to piece together exactly what happened between Chandler and his parents and why. They found Bart and Krista's phones inside the house wrapped in aluminum foil to block signals, confirming they never left the home. Shell casings found in the basement also confirmed that he more than likely shot his parents before dismembering and disposing of their remains. CCTV footage from a nearby supermarket caught him buying the tarp he used to transport Bart. However, the worst of what he did was revealed when investigators found tiny bone fragments.
I feel like, it's shit, forensics are so advanced now. How do you even get away with shit like this, man? Maybe if you're just in a rural, like super rural area, but other than that, how the fuck, nigga, there's cameras everywhere. They might be dick shitty ass cameras, but they're still there.
In his fireplace. You see, at around 3 a.m. the night of, a neighbor's doorbell camera captured a strange light coming from the Haldersons' home. It got extremely bright before going out. Put simply, this bright light his neighbor's camera captured came from Chandler trying to cremate his parents. But the fire likely got out of hand and shattered the glass pane, resulting in him abandoning that idea. As for why he committed such a horrific crime, that had to do with his successful career. As it turned out, almost all of it was a lie. He never graduated, never did any jobs he claimed to have done.
Fucking
thus, the offer
dumbass!
from SpaceX was a lie as well.
Taylor?
Bart apparently found out about it, and instead of facing the consequences of his years-long lie, Chandler decided that it was a better idea to take his parents' lives instead. He stood trial in January 2022 and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Get Chandler out of here, man.
On the night of December 28, 2016, a home security camera mounted outside a garage.
Why the trash can fell over right there?
In Albuquerque, New Mexico, captured a seemingly bizarre scenario. It showed a hooded figure walk out of the darkness, gently tip over a trash can, and then disappear into the darkness once again. Not long after, the resident of the home noticed the trash can and came to pick it back up before walking back inside. The camera then captured the light from the garage door getting dimmer as it closed.
He just played a trick on that nigga, man. Wow, that angle, that's fucked up. He flipped this trash can over to make him come outside, then he gonna stab the shit out of him.
But before it closed all the way, the door seemed to open again with a flashing light illuminating the driveway. This looked quite random at first glance. However, what happened in this footage served as the start to a brutally violent crime that happened in the same house.
I ain't gonna lie, we definitely don't need this B-roll of this nigga looking off into the fucking space. I mean, he in the office, bro. It ain't shit to see but a coffee machine. File my taxes, brother. We dead don't need this.
The story began earlier that night when 54-year-old Don Fluid dropped off his daughter Sienna at his now ex-wife Christine's house. The next day, Sienna called Don's office, asking if he'd come to work that day. Apparently, he called Sienna every night to say goodnight, but he didn't call the night before, which worried her. And something was definitely not right. Don had never missed work without prior notice before. His phone was also ringing, but he wasn't picking up, which was very out of character for him. Many considered him the most upstanding person they knew, and it wasn't like him to ghost others out of nowhere. So, two of his coworkers decided to check up on him at his house that afternoon. However, when they reached the front door, it swung open. It was already unlocked. They called out Don's name, but when they heard no response, they decided to go inside. Everything in the house looked very normal. That is, until one of the coworkers went to the garage. There, she spotted a dark red streak on the wall behind the parked truck. She stepped closer to take a better look, only to come across what she was dreading the most.
Justice for Dawn, man. Yo, hold on. Is this the real footage, though? Like, is this the real footage, man? This can't be. Like, they must have just laid a dummy down on the ground or something.
Only to come across what she was dreading the most. She called 911 and first responders rushed to the scene. Sadly, it was already too late for Don. He had several cuts on his body, a deep cut on his neck, and signs of blunt force trauma to his face. By the time his coworkers found him, he had already been dead for several hours. The Albuquerque police immediately launched a murder investigation. However, the only clue they had was this home security footage. It wasn't clear enough to make out the suspect's face, but the footage did suggest the intruder knew Don.
Yeah, maybe if we got some better fucking cameras. Maybe if we got some better cameras, we would have captured something other than the back of this nigga back. Maybe we would have got some better footage. And why is this camera so damn sideways? Who put this shit up, nigga? Fire his bitch ass. Why is the camera sideways? Y'all can't put it straight. Damn.
Don's habits quite well. He knew his daily routine, and more importantly, he knew Don wouldn't be able to ignore the
bro. His body is like 4 pixels.
Trash can if it were lying on the ground,
bro.
Giving him the chance to sneak into the garage while Don picked it back up. This wasn't a random burglar or serial killer who just saw an opportunity. It was likely someone close to Don. Unfortunately, figuring out who this person was turned out to be near impossible. The first suspect police questioned was Terry Lee White.
I ran out of space, bro.
Given Don's history of an intense custody battle against Christine and Terry
Hold on, nigga, I'm trying to go here. Nigga, is this Berenstein Bear land? Fuck is this? Yo, they got sister bear, mother bear, papa bear, mama bear, this random ass butt chin nigga, bear twins. Yo, I'm trying to go to, nigga, is this like Wyoming? Where can I go here?
Past, investigators began to look for any lingering resentment that could have boiled over into violence. However, when questioned, Terry was able to provide alibis for that night that completely checked out. The next 2 potential suspects were Don's brother Dennis, who didn't have the best relationship with Don, and the landlord Benny Ruiz. But while neither had a strong alibi, there was also no evidence linking the 2 to the crime scene. With that, the investigation was back at square one. It wasn't until March 31, 2017 that the killer was identified. It turns out the person who led detectives to the truth was none other than Don himself. You see, despite likely getting ambushed by the killer, Don did not go down easy. He fought back and ended up scratching the attacker. This allowed investigators to find foreign DNA under his fingernails and match it against the samples police had taken from the suspects. More than 3 months after the crime, Don's killer was finally identified as 51-year-old Terry Lee White. After clocking in at work as a commercial truck driver, Terry went to Don's place and carried out a plan he had likely been thinking over for a very long time. With the home security footage of him sneaking in Don's driveway showing how premeditated this whole thing was. After a brief manhunt, Terry was arrested on April 3rd, 2017 in Arizona.
Terry, I didn't never think you could do no wrong. Terry, look at you. You look like something.
100 miles from Albuquerque. He stood trial in June 2018 for his crime and was sentenced to life in prison without the
Hold on, I ain't never seen a nigga beard look like this. Why his beard look so whack? I don't like how this ball right here. This shit look weird. I don't like your beard, fuck boy.
18 for his crime and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
W video, nigga.